2025 to 2035. I refer to that as the gold rush years. By the time we get to 2035, 99% of all the Bitcoin will have been mined. The last 1% gets produced in the next 100 years. So if you want Bitcoin, you probably want to buy it in the next 10 years, because once you get to 2035, for all practical purposes, it's a capped supply, and the only way to get it is to bid up the price astronomically.
The next 10 years could be the most aggressive phase of Bitcoin growth and adoption, and missing it could mean missing the biggest wealth opportunity of this era. That's the message from Strategy's executive chairman, Michael Saylor. According to Saylor, this decade from 2025 to 2035 may be the last chance to accumulate Bitcoin before supply locks up for good. By the end of this period, over 99% of all Bitcoin will have been mined, leaving just a fraction available over the next century. That makes this period critical. Anyone looking to secure meaningful exposure to Bitcoin will need to act during this window, because after that, supply will be so limited that the only way in will be through dramatically higher prices. Make sure to stick around until the end of the video, as Michael Saylor reveals the shift that could make Bitcoin the most dominant financial force of the decade. Also guys, only a small percentage of my viewers subscribe. If you enjoy staying updated with finance content, consider subscribing or liking the video. It's free, and you can always change your mind. Now, here's Michael Saylor with his latest Bitcoin outlook.
What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin's the next wave. Today, it is the 7th largest asset in the world. And you can count them, right? Number 1 asset in the world, gold. 5,000-year head start. After that, you got the Magnificent Seven. You got NVIDIA, you got Apple, you got Microsoft, you got Amazon, you got Alphabet, you got Meta. And then just creeping in there, you've got some silver, and then you've got Saudi Aramco. But if you look at this, what you'll see is that the fastest horse in the race, the one that's actually moving up the leaderboard the fastest, is Bitcoin. 62% a year, ARR. Not for the past year, not for the past 4 years, not for the past 6 years, for the past 10, ever since it started, more than 62% a year. That's just the past 4 years though. And it is running to the top, and it will run past all the Magnificent Seven, and it will run past gold, and I'm going to show you why in the rest of my presentation. Now, it's not just the 7th largest, right? It's the fastest growing. It is the most popular in the world. Most popular asset. Bitcoin is spread across hundreds of millions of people. Probably 500 million people know what this is, and they're all very passionate about it in a way that they're not passionate about maybe Saudi Aramco or Meta stock. It's the most interesting because something is happening every minute of the day. You know, it crashed at 90,000 2 days ago. People are losing their minds. Smashed through 100,000, my phone's ringing off the hook. It's always moving. Much more interesting than these other things. It's pure digital. Something that, if you can wire $1 billion from one iPhone to another Android phone between 6 billion people in a split second, that becomes very interesting and very digital, right? You can't digitize silver, you can't digitize gold. Most of these other things are just securities. You can't even take custody of your own security. You can't trade those securities on Saturday afternoon. So Bitcoin is pure digital asset. It's useful. How useful? If you need $1 billion in 5 minutes on Saturday afternoon and your life depended upon it, there's only one thing up there that will actually give it to you. Only one thing. People, what's the consequence of that? Well, it's volatile, it's interesting. And lastly, it's global. The Magnificent Seven stocks are really just Western. They're United States, a little bit of Western Europe. Saudi Aramco is Middle East. You don't see any Chinese companies up there, right? And so Bitcoin is very, very rare combination of things that make it interesting to billions of people around the planet. Now, what happens when I put Bitcoin on my asset allocation chart here? Well, it just punches a hole in it, right? Like when I didn't put Bitcoin up there first because you wouldn't see anything else. Everything else is relatively uninteresting against 60%. What you see up there is there's an answer, and then there's a bunch of noise. There's a signal, and there's a bunch of noise. And if we look at it, that's 60% for 4 years. And when you look at it against this chart, this makes it much simpler. You have a bunch of money. Lockdowns come along in August of 2020. You can buy bonds, you can buy gold, you can buy real estate. All three of those don't beat the S&P index. They don't beat the hurdle rate. Gold is only half as powerful. If you capitalize your entire bank on bonds, well, you end up with Silicon Valley Bank, right? Your bank goes bankrupt. Bonds are an awful investment. The Magnificent Seven, good idea. Buy the 7 greatest companies in the world. Okay, good idea. That doubles the S&P, right? You can outperform if you just buy the good ones. And then Bitcoin. Bitcoin is, if you can't be Bezos, Musk, and Zuckerberg, and if you're not going to actually buy those stocks, how do you outperform them? Well, Bitcoin is double. Bitcoin is 4 to 5 times better than the S&P index, right? It's a pretty compelling chart. You might say, well, it's just the last 4 years. But the truth is, Bitcoin's the best asset in 11 of the past 14 years. This has been the story for 15 years now.
Hello and good evening to everybody. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our training session for this evening. My name is Queen B and I will be your host tonight. I'm hosting you all the way from South Africa. Hence, I am greeting good evening to all, but I'm quite aware there's all of us from different parts of the world. Ladies, I can see that there's still quite a lot of us that are still coming. Please, let's just remind one another that the training session has started. And just looking into us as a Rain BNB community, it has been an awesome journey in the last, I would say, 8 months of the year, because we're just a couple of days before we can start the August month. And every time we gather here, because we are looking for answers and we are looking for solutions, as well as a pathway or something that can guide us to increase our wealth through Rain BNB. And I would like to believe that we do get a lot, we learn a lot in our training sessions. And just like we are here tonight, we are hoping to get more. But when I was looking at our journey with Rain BNB, it doesn't matter if a person started last year or you started in this year of 2025, the only thing is, have you achieved your goals? Because we've got short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals with Rain BNB. And if not, would you have introspected so far to say, why has the right amount of BNBs haven't arrived in the last 2 weeks, in the last 4 months, and in the last 8 months, something like that? And at the same time, congratulating those that have been steadfast, especially when we started in January, we all had awesome resolutions for the BNBs in the beginning of the year. And I know that there is some of us that have achieved either short-term, medium-term, or even long-term goals. But if you find yourself in the circle whereby you haven't achieved what you really wanted, then it's time for us to all go back and see what it is that we are doing and see if we are truly taking Rain BNB for what it is. First and foremost, we are seeing the markets are very bullish. We are excited, but my excitement died down a little bit when I saw the BNB going close to $900 liters. I like to also use myself as an example. And if you identify with me, then welcome to my world. I say to myself, with an opportunity like Rain BNB, I refuse to miss the BNB era like I missed the Bitcoin era. We've just seen a highly, it's a relaxed but very educational clip about the Bitcoin. So all of us that are here are well acquainted when it comes to cryptocurrency. So which is what has brought us here today and every other day that we gather in this training sessions. And I looked to say, what is it that really needs to happen in the space of Rain BNB? Because unlike Bitcoin and other digital currencies, there are certain ways of acquiring them, especially the very well common known one is for you to buy and hold. Now, Rain BNB is the first platform that came across in a 100% decentralized way and gave us the opportunity to accumulate as much of these BNBs as possible. But how are we doing it? Are we doing the right thing in our journey? Are we doing the right thing in our pathway? When I'm saying are we doing the right thing is, are we following the compensation plan for purely what it is? Or we are here and no there tomorrow? Okay, because what needs to happen with Rain BNB is that we need to understand that it's an ongoing business, just like any other business. When one starts a business, we don't run it for a month or 2 months. And if the profits are low or the profits are high, then we are excited. Then we move on to go and start another business and on like that. Rain BNB is a business that is ongoing, that needs to be nurtured, that needs to be cared for, that needs to be managed on a daily basis. If not daily, but every other day or certain number of days in a week for us to be able to achieve the goals that we've prior set before we came on board to say, this is how I'm going to do my BNB portfolio. I want to earn these BNBs. So the management is very key. But what is it that we are managing? Because one, it's a community building platform. So obviously we are managing the community. By managing the community, I mean supporting our communities as the community grows, okay? Because Rain BNB says the minimum that you have to do is to bring in 2 directs to unlock your income. But you would see the rapid growth thereafter caused from the 2 directs. Okay, but then you don't stop at 2 directs. You can't withhold so much information. So you find yourself having more than 2 directs, like most of us are having here. And then that community comes in, they are excited, they need to grow, they need to earn, but most of them, they don't know the right path to go. Yes, it is good to also have strategies to keep the momentum exciting, but not to refrain and derail from the original compensation plan. When it was Right BNB, I remember we would even have songs, circulating to say, come in and get to people and upgrade, and that song would play for the next 2 to 3 minutes, and that's all that needs to happen with Rain BNB. Well, not to say that's all that needs to happen, but that is a basic. That is the basic of Rain BNB. All right, we have to make sure that each and every day there is new business coming in, just like any other business. It can be through you directly or through your community and you supporting the community. So that is when you are speaking to your community in different parts of the country, world, or however you have sown your seeds. The communication is important. Find out where they need support. Some they may need training, some they may need presentations, small presentations, and some they may need assistance with just even a three-way call, a one-on-one call, but we must always stay on our feet. Now, here is the thing that at the same time, while we are doing that, it is good because we are all great leaders in our ways. Everybody that is here tonight has great leadership qualities. But we should also be careful leaders, because I have seen a syndrome, a drawback syndrome, whereby one would find themselves supporting a community that is not active. Okay, let us be conscious, and one can only do so much, in terms of community building, to be realistic with ourselves, and also keeping the community alive 100%. Some of us are learning it now through Rain BNB. That the communities that we started with are no longer here, and some we still have them. All right. So do not put so much energy in a community if that community is not active at all. By activity, there may not be results due to circumstances. There are seasons. There may not be results for certain reasons, maybe for a week, for a certain time. But at the same time, there should be a time that you see results from the meetings you are having with your community, the growth of the attendance in these meetings that you are having, and you should be seeing an increased upgrades rate as well. Then that shows that you have a healthy community. And if that is not happening, then that should be a red flag, I wouldn't say, but that should be a sign that you should grow yourself. You should go out there, get a more and more community, so that you sustain a living community all the time. That's why I said Rain BNB is an ongoing business, leaders. So one cannot just say, oh no, I'm happy. My community is working extremely hard, and I have 30 direct community members that I have brought. Therefore, I'm not lifting a finger with Rain BNB. It wouldn't be a wise thing to do. Whether your community is healthy and it is doing well, make sure that you are always by their side for the good that is happening, just as when they need your support, when the going gets tough. But do not forget to bring in new business, and also encouraging your community to do the same. That is the old community members, not just the community members that are new and they still need to build. Okay, now in our presentations with Rain BNB, we will see, because someone would say, yes, I have been to, Super Sundays. I see a lot of people making a lot of BNBs, but it is not happening with me. And why? All right. It starts from simple things like the way you onboard your community onto your team. How do you show the value of the Rain BNB to the community when they come on board? Are you saying, no, come, this is a $3 business, it's the most affordable, it doesn't go away? Or you show the bigger aspect of the business? Whom are we inviting as community partners into our business? Do we really take time to sit down with them without prying too much into their personal lives? Try and establish why the person is interested in Rain BNB, what is it they need to achieve, and in which space of time, because that is very important. That also happens, leaders, during happy calling. Because in our space of referral marketing, there is no time for you to sit down and interview your prospects. But when you are still happy calling and you are talking about the crypto markets, you are talking about the economy in general, you are talking about the crime in the neighborhood, you will see or hear the prospect saying, yeah, I wish I could live in a better neighborhood. And then you would know that, oh, this prospect, if she came or he came onto Rain BNB, I can assist them to at least get maybe 3 BNBs, because after 3 BNBs or 2 BNBs, that person is well off on their own to run Rain BNB on their own, which is also very important for us to be doing as well. We do not withhold information to our community members and make them depend on us to make the earning. We must be as transparent and show them the journey as in it is ourselves, so that they can be able to accumulate their wealth without needing us by their side. That is the nice thing about Rain BNB, because once that starts happening within your community, you will see that your income will increase as well. And one other thing, leaders, we do not depend nor rely on the community that we have brought forward into the business, because when we come into Rain BNB and share this lovely opportunity, we are merely saying to the next person, here is an opportunity for you that you can create wealth all the way into millions, should you be interested in doing so. And you stay with that person for quite a little long for them to understand what it is they are required to do. But their performance does not propel or compel you to actually shut down your own business. You would be grateful if they are a little bit hardworking than the others, but still going on every day. And the secret that we all know with Rain BNB is that we should be a community of upgrades. Okay, we should upgrade without season. If we are all in the business, I don't even see how the upgrades would not take place, because as the new business is coming in, it automatically propels upgrades to the ones that are there before. So we must make it a point we upgrade, because upgrades are opening more income for us, more BNBs for us, okay? And upgrades not just more in the number of earnings of the BNBs, but also the value, the size of the BNBs that we earn. So that is called positioning oneself. I know the English community is not very big on the Super Sundays, although I do not understand why at this point, if we were looking at the BNB over the weekend, almost hitting $900, because such things are things that would have an impact on your income, because your income also comes through the eye that you see this business. If you see it as a little something to give you extra income, you will get extra income. But if you see it as a major business, then you will also get major business. But where do you see? You go to places, even the Super Sunday is where you are going to see how the world is doing. How alive is RainBnB out there? Are you the one that is not working your business? Are you the only one? Or is it the whole world that has stopped working RainBnB? Because we can do that. We can stop working RainBnB, but it does not mean if one guy got up and worked, they won't end. That's the beauty of RainBnB. They surely will end, and a few other people above them will also get paid. So we are here. We want the BNB. This is our BNB. We are the beginners in this journey of RainBnB. We are the pioneering community. But our wallets, are they showing that? And where is it going wrong, leaders? Where are we going wrong? We've seen 500 BNBs in wallets. We've seen 900. We've got all the 24 hours. All of us are having 24 hours in a day. It may be that one says, oh no, my community is not as forthcoming. They are not as passionate as I am. Then that's when, because in RainBnB, we don't have a boss. We don't have anyone telling us what to do and how to do. Okay, so you would sit back and start changing. You change the ways that you've been doing things and start trying also new ways. Start approaching a different community altogether. That will help. Because when we started, I remember because when I'm talking like this, it's always myself included. We would go to all the leaders that we know in the world. We know they are very good at referring, and those are the people we ran to, and they have all been in RainBnB now. All of them. Some of them have come and gone. And this is not the right time for them to come back, although they were scratching their heads a lot, over the weekend about why did they leave? Because they've gone into so many thousands of other things where they still also have nothing to show there. Okay, so now this is when it becomes maybe a little bit of a hefty pacing, because now we are like, okay, I have spoken to everybody. I have spoken to everybody in Japan. I had a community in China. I got hold of those guys. They got on board, but they are not working at this point. Okay, leaders, when we understand the digital space, we know that today anybody now understands not understands to our level, but they know that there's a lot of money in this thing called the Bitcoin. Let's start there. Okay, so now we can even look into the non-referral marketing community. That's the best community. Okay, and we also look at the hours that we are investing, and also look within ourselves and see if we are still having the same passion and drive. in January, but whether we came in August or November last year or December, most of us were swearing we would be having 100 BNBs today. And that has not happened. Some people have made it, but not everybody. Why? Is it the drive that is dying down? Is it the lack of to say, no, me, I'm just gonna tune in there, but I'm not going to invite my team. They know this at 7 o'clock every evening. You see, is it something like that? Or we are just busy supporting a community that does not need to be supported? Because if we are supporting a community that doesn't need to be supported, then we have to find a community to support. The global community size is very huge. It's not difficult to find a new community. Why I say so is because I can see a new Rain BNB member that's going to come onto Rain BNB in November and make 500 BNBs before March next year. Where would they have gotten that community that we are not getting ourselves? Okay, so leaders, that's the one thing I honestly wanted to touch. And I know that we are all here for a common goal, but just to remind ourselves to say, guys, let's go onto the drawing board. Let's give enough hours to our Rain BNB. And yes, there's other opportunities. There are plenty out there in the world. Okay, but Rain BNB has not yet let us down. I would explain to other leaders that I don't want to go hopping onto each and every good platform that gets presented to me until I end up losing money that I'm not ready to lose. As long as I am still able, to build my crypto portfolio and do a few other things, as long as my why in Rain BNB still has a door that's open for it, I am going to focus there. Because I may say, oh, okay, most of this community is dead. And that is not like a secret, leaders, okay? Now, let me go somewhere. Am I not going to be doing the same thing that I'm doing here, sharing and referring? So why am I going to go and be referring and sharing all over again, whereas there's so much to gain here? This almost $900 is absolutely nothing compared to where the BNB is going, leaders. If you had a balance in your wallets and you saw your balances this weekend, can you imagine if maybe you grew that income in this 2 weeks, you doubled it, and watch it sometime in September, October? We are the beginners in Rain BNB, leaders. We are the pioneers in Rain BNB. And I would not want the Rain BNB to pass us by. Yes, we've got opportunities to build bigger portfolios. It is not the only BNB. The BNB is not the only crypto portfolio, but it is a portfolio where somebody has made over 1,500 BNBs in less than a year. There is no way where I know myself where I can go to make 1,500 Bitcoins in less than 12 months. I would go there because the Bitcoin is good. I would go and make those trons or whatever, but are those platforms 100% decentralized? How safe is my community if I take my community there? So we are sitting on a gold mine with Rain BNB leaders, and we must start seeing the bigger picture. Last week, we had a sizzling few days of the back office training, and all the the nitty-gritties, the tools that one actually needs to be able to conduct the business. All right. So that training doesn't, for someone that is not working, it looks like, wow, this is a wealth of knowledge, but this is something that you are doing each and every day if you are working your Airbnb together with your community. And I would like to believe all of us have got a sizable community. Maybe our communication skills are not as good as we thought, or it could be that we need a new community. But starting up in Airbnb, even if one started today, leaders, I'm telling you, in 3 weeks, 2 weeks' time, you would be speaking another language, because if you had to start now, you know now that your new community is not coming in with beginner packages. They are now coming in with mentor, champion, starting all over again in Airbnb. At this point, you are actually doing yourself a big favor, because now there is that light that was not there when you started, because most of us started when everyone else was still learning. And we were doing our best to impart to the communities. But right now, if you have been learning from October, November, December, you know a lot. We're not just as equal as the so-called top earners in the world. It's just that they are doing things differently from the way that we are doing our business. They are doing their businesses differently. And just to give a hint, let's look where Airbnb is doing extremely well and break those markets, because we are in the digital space. There's nothing, unless it's a language barrier, I would understand. Okay, but in other English speaking places, like the other Asian places where they're speaking of some English of some sort, make it a point that as much as you are going in your comfortable zones, you at least get one or two in those areas where Airbnb is doing well, so that you too can be partaking and be part of a community that has the same goal as you, than to spend a lot of time in certain communities where the crypto doesn't matter. I mean, it in some places it's like, okay, if there is enough for me to do what I need to do, I wouldn't be bothered by the ABCD. You see, so you separate yourself from that and start moving on, leaders. I think it's about the time. And as we are leaders moving forward, we're not stopping, we're not looking back, but we are doing things differently. In that way, it will show in us. Okay, it will show in us to a point that certain community members that you don't want to leave behind, but at this point you are forced to leave them behind, will see it in you, and they will start coming again after you. Rather allow the community to come after you than you go after the BNB. Because this BNB, yes, I'm excited, leaders. I'm very excited, but I'm not happy. I would be lying if I say I'm happy with the 10 of things. I've been given almost 12, no, not yet there, because I didn't come in August, but it's just as good. I've been given ample time to perform to better than. This was quite a wake-up call. And I thought, let me come and also share with the leaders, and we see if, we realize, because it seems we are here, no, but we are not here because we forget our whys. We may have the whys. We may still have that car to pay off and say, yes, I'm hoping to get a few BNBs that will contribute towards either my credit card, my car, or to change where I live. I want to live in a much more upmarket place. But there's also the bigger why. You know, the one that we put down the beginning of the year, that is total financial freedom, not just one payment of a credit card and one Rolex watch. That's not why we are here in Rain BNB. We have that. So leaders, let's seriously go back. There's a lot of copycat platforms out there that are sizzling hot with former members of Rain BNB. People that were in our teams, they are jumping into these things because they cannot tell the difference between them and Rain BNB. And it may be lying within us leaders that at that time we were not elite enough to bring that light to them, you know, for them to understand. And I've seen quite a lot of them lose money here, lose money there, but people don't stop, and it is in their nature. So that also puts us, the healthy community, you know, into a serious competition out there. And that's a competition that we cannot, you know, stop from happening unless we start doing things differently. Unless we make sure that with our communities, we are always close-knit, our communities are knowledgeable of the power of Rain BNB. That is also stressed in our presentations. I was thinking of the BNB prize, and I'm thinking of the roadmap. How many of us wake up at some point thinking about the Rain BNB roadmap? This roadmap is telling us we are going to earn BNBs if we have an active community. And this is telling us that it's going to happen in the last quarter of this year. How often are we bothering ourselves in preparations to this roadmap? Because if one didn't make 100 BNBs, maybe the roadmap would help if the community is active. I also get pitched to quite, you know, different platforms, and they mention, excuse me, leaders, they mention the things that are already on Rain BNB. And I'm like, in every new platform that comes to me, in somewhat way, I already have it. Do I really need to go somewhere else? Okay, someone was talking about gaming, they were talking about AI, I'm like, no, it's there. But how many of us have parted with money already trying to go into something that is said it's better, and then we still didn't receive? At least at Rain BNB, every upgrade puts something in the wallet. Some of these platforms were just parting with money. I make it clear that my BNBs are locked up now. I can't touch them. Why would I? I have a deadline. I don't know when I'm going to touch them, but I'm going to work and work extremely hard. So leaders, let's bring out that passion about Rain BNB. The English community, Super Sunday, I always refer to it because it brings out a certain aura about us as a community. If we're still at a point whereby we can't come forward and proudly speak about a massive platform like this, then we still need to introspect. Maybe we are in our natures not speakers, but it's not about that. It's not a public speaking competition. It's a way of coming forward and doing your contribution towards your own business. Not doing for the world, not doing for anybody, but doing for those BNBs that you sat down and did the resolutions beginning of the year. You wrote the why. It's for all those things. You don't have to be an excellent speaker and you don't have to speak English at all times. We said all languages, if a person can be comfortable and come and contribute. So there is also a part of us that feel as if Rain BNB is a somewhat small platform that one cannot be seen. We are like in a closet, some of us, about Rain BNB. Okay, so the income is going to be in the closet. And this is a giant platform because I haven't heard of a testimonial like the testimonials we get in Rain BNB. Yes, people make thousands of dollars. Yes, they make the millions or so they say, but I'm talking in the true sense. It's very few. If you look in the past 6 months, let someone show you if they made 900 BNBs worth of returns wherever their platform is. It's always losses here, losses here, losses there, losses there. And this is when we should be climbing, going higher and higher and higher, and shining brighter and brighter to a point that even competition will think twice. Even us, when something that looks like competition comes, we don't even feel it because we are too busy. But right now, we are at that point. It's been a long day. Some of us have come last year. Some of us have come beginning of the year. And thanks to the new leaders that are still riding on, yes, it's been a long day, but it's just the beginning. Depending on how you came onto Rain BNB and what your why was when you came onto Rain BNB, I think I would be still doing Rain BNB, guys, 3 years time, 4 years time, because I don't know if we share the same picture. I have not been to universities. I haven't approached the chancellors and them people there to see if I can give a seminar about the digital space and Rain BNB. And varsity students, they can easily come in on Champion if I'm really serious. And the youth, naturally, they are moving with the times more than our peers. They have not lost a lot of money in different platforms. They understand the digital space and artificial intelligence, and they are hungry to know about the blockchain, etc. And they don't have so much responsibilities like most of us do. So I'm just giving an example. Any one of you leaders can, you don't even have to go and give a seminar, get hold of a few learners. There's plenty places I can spend the whole evening giving you guys leads. And then, well, the artificial leads, I have not tapped in there. I believe in the traditional way of doing things. I need to speak to you and set you up on SafePal. I don't want there was a robot busy trying to get me someone to come in on director. Okay, guys, but there's nothing wrong with that. For those that have tried it, if it is working, why not? So this is not the time for us to despair, but this is the time for us to put our house together, to strive and even reach out and say, guys, I want to do something differently. I want to do mine differently. Don't be alone, because the one thing that also kills us is the isolates. Because we isolate ourselves, We don't want anybody to know that there's trouble in our paradise, and therefore there is no one to really come to your rescue. We are here, we want the BNBs. But we are very few of us that are really reaching out to say, I need to make this work. In most cases, also, I have seen some that, leaders that would come and say, oh, yeah, but you can see leadership is not doing anything. Also, I say, my leader, organize a meeting. Let me come there. Not come physically. I can come online. There will be no meeting. My leader, can I have the leads? Can I have your prospects that you've spoken to? That will be the last I hear of the leader. So I'm not talking about those leaders. I'm talking about leaders that are genuinely in it to win it, ladies and gentlemen. And we can still turn things around. Rain BNB is not a lifetime business for you to see 10 BNBs, 20 BNBs. We can do it like from the 1st of August to the 31st of August. We can bring out healthy testimonials. We have seen it day in, day out, that such testimonials can come out of Rain BNB. Like right now, our mentor is away, okay? It would have been nice that when he comes back, at the end of every training session, at the end of every presentation, someone says, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have made 0.9 BNBs and I'm happy. If there's time for testimonials, it's like, oh my God, it's my cue to leave this meeting now. Let's bring ourselves up to be a healthy, wealthy community, because there's nothing else that we want here but wealth. And we must not even be dilly-dallying about it. We mustn't be sitting on the fence about it. It is the honest truth. Besides the fact that, yes, we are also, I know most of us that are here, we've got the big hearts to want to change other people's lives. But it starts with yours. Before you ignite the next person. But in Rain BNB, you refer, if the person takes more time into the business and does the business right more than you do, you may ignite. But it's nice when you ignite, they also, you are also ignited. See, we've had our mentor so many times. He said when he started, almost his whole community was earning more than he was earning. That's the beauty of Rain BNB. Because sometimes there is that, I don't know how to put it, that, some community members would feel as though when they model and build their business and find their financial breakthrough, they are doing it for the next person. Here in Rain BNB, you would be wasting your time to think that way. Here in Rain BNB, as much as we work closely as a community, building each other, doing everything, but there are certain things that you are able to do for yourself. And why not enhance the next person? Because the compensation plan allows it. You do not lose anything by enhancing the next person. If you are a community builder, you are a leader, and your community is getting rewarded from your works. So why not? Okay, and the other way around. Leaders, let me just see, yes, we are coming close, and I don't know if there are questions so far. If somebody wanted to add on what I'm talking about tonight, which is basic fundamentals of Rain BNB. Let's see the hands up, leaders, because this topic is not a strange topic to what is happening to our businesses today. So I like to hear from other people as well. The input is very also more than welcome. If you can't raise your hand, you can put a heart emoji because those ones are easy. Sometimes you'll find the chat box is locked as well. Okay, there's a hand from Philip, or I think it's Pastor Philip, although your name is different today, Pastor, but it's still okay. Um, you can unmute Pastor Philip.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening and good morning, depending on the time zone. Thank you first and foremost for this training session. This is what I can call it, exhortation and motivation as well. Thank you. Even though I think our coach, Mr. KK, is not around, I still thank him and honor him. Thank you, Mrs. Queen Bee, for the opportunity to just have a talk. I just want to appreciate what you were saying. There is nothing more than, or nothing that can be better than what you just say. If we know the value of things, except we don't know what we are into. Because I used to say that what I found in this Rain BNB just about 4 to 5 months, closely to 5 months, I've never seen it. So I sit down learning for those with whom I can learn. If we want go to go higher, we need to take time to value what we are doing, not just to do it because everyone is doing it. You just said right now about the why. Why are we doing this? So I just want to encourage each other. Let us put our hand together, building some of our members, they still not understand the concept. So we need to reach out to them one by one to ask, what is the issue? Why are you not moving? Tell me, is there anything you don't understand? I did it the last time. And what the person told me, I realized that even though we are posting in the group, there are some people, they don't have that boldness to ask questions. So I think if we come together, this thing will go higher and we will not need even to look anything else to do. Thank you so much for the job you are doing for our progress, for our development in this space. I'm so grateful to you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure, Pastor Philip, and thank you so much for always coming through during our sessions. You are appreciated, and I know you don't come alone, you come with your leadership, and we are wishing you nothing but the best in your journey and your financial freedom with Rain BNB. I'm sure that Rain BNB will be surprising you sooner than we think. Believe me, Pastor Philip, it has happened to most of us that are here. We came with certain expectations into Rain BNB, and now we are living other expectations that we didn't imagine. So just hang on in there. And the same applies to each and every one of us that is here with the same passion and the same drive. And they have clearly outlined their why into Rain BNB. So leaders, I would like to give other leaders a chance as well. It can be a compliment, it can be a question, but a little bit more interaction would be very nice, guys. We need to make our house warm, you know, and the more interactions we get, the more we get to know each other, and the more we also share. And thank you for the valuable sharing, Pastor Philip, at the same time. Okay, so we do not have anything on the house on the sharing side. No little testimonial, guys. Go into your SafePal wallets and check, even if it's 0.0002 BNBs, we can testify. Let's have that habit as well for earnings for today. You know, let's appreciate our business as well, leaders. It's an awesome business. Okay. In the darkest hours of my business, I still appreciate it very much. I don't just appreciate it on a good day, but I appreciate it all round, all throughout, for the journey that I have traveled in Rain BNB, not alone, of course, with my great partners from all over the world. And some I have lost along the way. Some I am still going to lose, but there are some that I'm still going to gain. All right, leaders. So there's also that thing that when we lose our community members, we also wallow in pity. We worry. That is business for us, especially our kind of business. We must not let that and allow it to stand in the way of our success. In Rain BNB, we are unstoppable because we are equipped to be unstoppable. So nothing must bring a down day. You can have that down moment, you know, but still get up, you know, and move on for the positive. So leaders, looking at our time, I think that will bring us to the end of our training session tonight, and announcing going forward that we will be having our presentation tomorrow. This is the right time to get as many people as we can onto Rain BNB, because we don't even need to spell it out as to what's happening in the digital space. People can see. So let's call them, give them the opportunity to participate like us. So tomorrow our presentation is going to be at the same time, same link. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of you tomorrow with your honorable guests, so that we can grow and be a much bigger community than what we are today. Thank you so much, leaders, and have a beautiful, fruitful day going ahead, depending on which part of the world you are. It may be in the day, it may be in the night, but it's cheerio, ciao, goodbye from me. Thank you so much.